Hey there, what's up you guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at a podzol generator. Alright, so podzol is a variant of the grass block and it doesn't spread to adjacent dirt blocks. So you can't just let it spread to farm it. You'd have to find I believe it's the roofed forest biome where it appears. But anyways, if you don't want to go through all the trouble of searching, or if you just want an infinite source of it, this machine will do the trick. Now right off the bat, I want to say that this uses a glitch I did not find, so I'm going to be linking the video below. I want to say it was made by Old Ganon and also found by Code Raider and Panda, so you should go show them some love on that video. But anyways, let's look at this thing in action. So the way it works, you just start up this machine here, and then you can AFK and just place down some gold pressure plates right here. That's the reason you do that. It's just part of the glitch. I'll do my best to explain afterwards, but so yeah, there we go. And then these dirt blocks will just keep moving along the track I set up, and this track holds about a little over 2 stacks of the podzol blocks, and I think it takes about 4 minutes for all the blocks to move through the track. So yeah, I'll just turn this off now. So yeah, you can see we just got our podzol blocks moving down along the track here, and there we go. So yeah, guess I'll try to do my best to explain how this thing works now. Alright, so I'm just going to be giving you guys a short, not too in-depth description of how this works. Please go to Old Ganon's video for a more in-depth description, but anyways, what we're going to do here is shoot first one arrow right here, and then we're going to need to put 2 arrows into this dirt block like so. Okay, so that's the arrow setup we need to do. Next, we're going to push this arrow over here, and you can see it doesn't fall down. It gets confused because the arrow isn't really sure if it's right here or still right there where it was before it was pushed. So if we destroy this block, the arrow will drop down, and something funny will happen. What I'm going to do is destroy this block and place a pressure plate, and you can see this block becomes podzol. And the reason it's doing that is you can see this pressure plate has a metadata value of 0. If I shoot it, its metadata value becomes 1. So what happens is the arrow gets confused and isn't sure if it needs to increment the metadata value of the pressure plate or the dirt block, and it ends up incrementing that of the dirt block. And the reason we put 2 arrows down here is because that causes the arrow to increment this by 2 instead of just 1. So that's how we get the podzol. So this machine here automates as much as possible of that process I showed you with the arrow. So, well, first of all, there's the 2 arrows down there that I mentioned. I'm just going to put a block there. This, just pretend that's a dirt block. I'm just going to leave it there. And then I took out all the other dirt blocks so you guys could kind of see what was going on more. But anyway, so I'll turn this on. And you can see it'll shoot an arrow, push it down, and then retract this block. And then ideally what you'd do is you'd you'd be placing your gold pressure plates there, and you can see it just made a glass block with a metadata of 2, and there isn't a block for that in the game, which is why it gets this weird no texture look. But so that's how that works, and then you can see it just pushes the dirt blocks out of the way to let the next dirt block move in. So that's that machine, and then everything else here is simply for storing the dirt blocks, so you don't have to feed in dirt blocks while you also feed in the pressure plates. So this forms kind of like a little track of dirt blocks. I'll just throw down a glass block, or an iron block here. So the green circuit is just detection of when a new dirt block pops in, and then as soon as a new one pops in, you can see all these other blocks, or all these other pistons, simultaneously push out like that. And then if I put a block there, see if I can get a good view of it while I do this, that block will get pulled in by the sticky piston back out. So you can see now we get kind of a little track going on where all the dirt blocks go back and forth. And ideally what you would do is you'd wait until you'd filled up the whole track with podzol, and just take your silk touch shovel and go ahead and mine out all your podzol. And then to refill it, you're going to put dirt on all the stained clay blocks. So that's why I have stained clay and glass here, just to tell you where you should and shouldn't put dirt. Yeah, so that's the basics of how it works. Obviously you don't have to use this exact track design. You could make it bigger, smaller, whatever you want to do, but I still will be doing a tutorial for how to make this and my little semi-automated arrow shooter device here. So anyways, yeah, let's build it. So we're going to be starting with the yellow circuit over there. So what we're going to do is put down glass, glass, and just a different color block or some block that lets you, this is the block that the gold pressure plates are going to be placed on, so I just figure might as well do a different color or something there to indicate that's where your pressure plates are going to go. But anyways, then you're going to go down 2 temporary blocks and place a dispenser facing upwards like this. Throw some arrows in there. Now just have it shoot out 2 arrows like that, and there you go. That's what's going to increment it to 2 for podzol. And then if this thing ever stops working, most likely what the problem is that somehow these arrows have despawned, or they tend to get pretty glitchy when they're stuck in a block like this, but these arrows actually shouldn't despawn, so you probably won't have to worry about that. But anyway, so next what you're going to be doing, block there, and then we go back 2 blocks, and we're going to put down 2 sticky pistons, each one with a block in front of them. And then a normal piston facing this way. That one is just going to be for a bud update system. We're going to have a block here, and your dispenser facing down here. And a pretty cool part of this design is that these arrows never actually get used up, because you're going to be standing in front of it to recollect them the whole time. So whenever this thing runs out of arrows, in theory you'd still have all the arrows that were shot out, and you could just quick load them back up. So anyways, next what we're going to be making is the clock to run this thing. So repeater set to 4 ticks there, and then a repeater here set to 2 ticks. Block there. Redstone dust. Now another block here, and a torch underneath. So this thing will start firing. We're just going to put a lever here temporarily to stop it. Actually, I'm going to put that lever right here. Next, we're going to just put the actual lever to turn it on and off. In theory, you could just leave your lever up on top, but I think it's better to have the lever closer down to where you're aiming. So how we're going to set that up is torch here, and lever right there. Alright, so now we can get rid of this one here. So now when you want it on, just turn the lever on. When you want it off, turn the lever off. So then we're going to be putting down a torch here. And next what we're going to be making is a monostable circuit to power this piston down here. And for that monostable circuit, we're going to put some redstone here. Repeater, set it to 3 ticks. And we're going to have a piston. Ooh, actually, this should be up 1. Piston facing downwards. We're going to give it a redstone block. Come down here. Block there, redstone dust. And this is where the actual monostable circuit's going to go. It's going to be right here. And then we are going to put a repeater right there. And now we are going to put a non-sticky piston right here, and this is what's going to push the dirt blocks out of the way after they've been turned into podzol. Then you're probably going to want to put 2 blocks here just to make sure your gold pressure plates don't go flying off to the sides. So with the design over there, what I did was I placed down the orange stained clay everywhere that you are supposed to put a dirt block to fill this thing. So that's what we're going to be doing first, just putting down all the stained clay. So stained clay there, and then in theory this block should be a stained clay block, but I like to keep it glass just so that you can see whether or not the arrows have despawned. Anyways, then we're going to do 10 blocks out this way. Alright, there we go, and then we're going to do 9 blocks back the other way. So it's going to be 1 away like this. Then we're going to build out 12 blocks, so 9. 12 blocks again, then come in 1 block and build 9 blocks back the other way. Alright, and then here we're going to build out 12 again, and then 9 back on the inside again. You can kind of see your patterns forming. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next. I believe it's 4 more of those. Alright, so after you finish that pattern, you should have 5 of these little single blocks out here. And then on the last row, coming back this way, instead of stopping after 9, you're going to stop after 10. Then we're going to place down 2 temporary blocks and go out another 10. Alright, like so, and then temporary block. And if everything was done correctly, this line will line up directly into this piston here. So there you go. That is how you set up the stained clay or whatever block you're using to represent where all the dirt blocks should go. What comes next is all the pistons on that side to move all the blocks along the track, so that's what we'll be doing. I'm going to put 2 temporary blocks out this way, and then we are going to have a regular piston right here. Then we're going to put another regular piston like that, and then we are going to repeat that for all these corners. So regular piston there, and then a block here, and you can kind of see the pattern forming, so I'll go ahead and do the rest of this off camera. Okay, so your pistons should be lined up something like this, so 1 piston facing this way right on the end. And now to power all these, we're going to go ahead around here and just throw some blocks in all around them, so just kind of line them all with a block like so. And then blocks in these corners. And what we're going to do is, so all the pistons that are facing back towards our yellow circuit, we're going to put a repeater facing into the block above them at 2 ticks delay. Like so, and now we just cover all the other blocks in redstone dust. And there we go, so that's going to be our circuit for this side of the track. So the easiest way to place down all the pistons for this side of the track is probably going to be, well, start with 1 here, and then take out some temporary blocks, and now just kind of make a zigzag all the way down. And then on this zigzag, we are going to place all the pistons. So so every other corner facing towards our yellow circuit, we're going to have our sticky pistons, like so. This one, yeah, that's correct. And then 1 more out here. And then facing this way, except right here where we're going to have it face the other way. So that's how this last corner should look here, but everywhere else we're going to place down normal pistons facing away from our yellow circuit machine like that. So you should get this kind of little alternating pattern going. You can go ahead and take out all these temporary blocks here. Then what we're going to do is place solid blocks on top of each of these sticky pistons, just like that. And now on the other side of them, we're going to use half slabs to avoid accidentally bud powering the normal pistons. Right, so and then right here we're going to have, I suppose this one doesn't need to be a half slab. Oh, actually this one should be a half slab, or else if a podzol is left under a solid block for too long, it'll turn back into dirt. So just 1 extra little podzol there. And then place some more blocks here, here, here. So we'll get a zigzag of solid blocks and half slabs. Let's go ahead and place redstone dust on top of all of it. And then we are going to place torches above on all these outward facing blocks like this, and if that was all done correctly, you should have all your normal pistons extended and all your sticky pistons not extended. So now you can see when we power this, the sticky pistons get extended, and when it's not powered, the other pistons do. There you go, so that's the other side of the track. And then lastly, for the last set of pistons, we're just going to be doing a simple little smart piston down at this end. So let me get out the green color wool, because that was what I was using for the detection over there, I believe. So torch there, block, block, block. And there we go. So now whenever a block is on top of this thing, it'll push it out. Now I should mention, imagine that these blue blocks are dirt blocks, that if this is completely full, and this won't happen if you build it correctly, but it's a pretty easy mistake to make. If this is ever full and this thing tries to extend, you can see nothing will happen. And now, even if there is space for it to extend, it won't, because the piston doesn't realize it's being powered at this point. And you have to update the piston for that to work correctly. So that's a common problem this machine has. But yeah, there we go. That's all for the pistons of the track. Next, we're going to be building the system that detects when a dirt block enters into the track. So to do that, we are going to place a temporary block here. Piston like that, and put a green block on top of this, so now whenever a block is here, this piston will extend. Then right here, place a torch, block up like so, and then a repeater. Just going to place a block there, and now in line with the third repeater, I'm going to build back and make a little joint like that. And we're going to have a repeater there, just leave it at 1 tick. Redstone all the way back to here, and now you can give it a test run, and you can see that if a block enters here, all our pistons get extended. And then we need to hook up this side of it to as well. So go ahead and come back to, is this the, so the middle blue block on the back here, excuse me. And then we're going to have a repeater at 2 ticks going into that, and then just build a little ladder down until you got it 1 block beneath the floor there. Build this back, and then build this down with a little redstone ladder, or a little redstone stairs as well. Bring these two together, and then we're going to want a repeater here, leave it at 1 tick. Connect everything up with redstone, and if you put all this together, then all the pistons should fire as soon as a block enters this thing. Let's see if I can get a good view of the other side there. Yep, there we go. Excellent. And then as a final suggestion I have to make is that you go ahead and put some kind of material around the edges and just along all the little corners here. Make sure it's not the same as the one that tells you where to put the dirt, but just to make sure you're not losing anything over the sides when you go ahead and mine everything. Yeah, so that's it for the building. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys found this useful. I'll give it a test run on video before I end this. Alright, so I've gone ahead and placed dirt on top of all the stained clay blocks, and let's give this thing a test run. So turn it on, and then just start placing your oops. There is one last change that you're going to want to make to the yellow circuit here, and that's just simply put a, some kind of blocker object here that won't cause the podzol to turn back into grass, and then you're going to want to place a sign right there. All that's going to do is stop you from placing a pressure plate on this block here. Alright, so I believe everything's built. I've gone ahead and placed dirt on top of all the stained clay blocks, so let's give this baby a test run. Drop into survival mode, turn it on. Yep, there we go. Alright, so there you have it. You can build yourself a podzol generator. So hope you guys found this useful. And yeah, that's about it for today. See y'all later with another video, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.